Good day everyone, I'm Brooks Malcolm M. Rebolios and I'm going to discuss about the music content of forms and dynamics. So, the first one is form. So what is form in music? Form is the general shape of musical works. It also refers to the basic structure of a musical composition which helps listeners realize the big picture. The next one is the praise. Praise in music is just like in grammar and language, music has also praise. Means a praise is a musical unit made up of a group of notes that contains a definite idea. Usually, it takes to the move that great praise to complete a melody. And that is the praise. Do you follow? Very good. Do you know, class, that there are two types of praises in musical content on forms and dynamics? The first one is the antecedent and the consequent. When we say antecedent, this is a praise that is left hanging or unresolved or like a question. Consequent. Consequent, this is the praise that usually follows an antecedent praise which completes and resolves it. It gives an answer to a hanging question while listening to it. Do you follow? An example of antecedent.
Hello everyone, I'm Crystal Siminda, but you can call me Teacher Faith. Today, let's explore the fundamental building blocks of musical structure, auxiliary section, and the binary form. Auxiliary sections within a musical composition. This section describe additional section that aren't always present but can enhance a musical piece. For letter A, we have the introduction. This passage in the beginning of musical work, an opening section, a passage at the beginning setting the stage for the main work. Think of it as the opening prelude. For the letter B, we have the coda literally, means the tall piece, this section that gives closure to musical works even if its material is sometimes unrelated to the themes or phrases used in the piece. So in other words, a concluding section, it might summarize the piece or offer a constructive feeling. Even if the musical materials is different from the main body of the work, it's like a musical epilogue. For the second one is the structure of musical forms. This section focuses on how musical pieces are organized. For letter A, we have the binary form. This is the fundamental structure where a piece is divided into main sections, A and B. The section A and B are usually related and complement each other, often being similar in length. It's common to repeat each section, resulting in an A, B and B structure. Often, section A starts in one key and then the musical modulates change key to a different key in section. So for the letter B is the sheet of the section, the brightest interest. Yankee Doodle is an example of a song binary form. In short, it is the basic musical structure, showing how introduction encodes functions of supplementary parts and how the binary form organizes a piece into related but distinct sections, often with a key change for added musical interest.
Hello everyone, I am Sharika Bayhon and I am going to discuss about the musical form which are the ternary, rondo, and tropic, and also the repeat marks which is the da capo. So the ternary is the second structure of musical form. So this is also called ABA form. So this form has 3 sections, where A is the opening section, followed by B section that is different yet complementary and tonally related. So after this, the A section is repeated. So an example of this form is the Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. So the next we have the rondo. So in this form, a primary section or theme, usually in the tonic key, recurs multiple times, alternating with secondary sections. So this signified as abaca or abacada form, where the primary section A is repeated in between episodes section B, C, and D. An example of this kind of form is Mozart's the famous piano piece on the Rondo alla Turca. So the rondo form features a recurring main theme, which is the A, alternating with constructing episode B, C, and D. So the common patterns include abaca and abacada. So the recurring A sections provide familiarity, while the intervening episodes introduce variety. So this form is often used in final movements of classical sonatas and symphonies. So, and the last we have the strophic form. So this is a type of form wherein all the stanzas or verses of a song lyrics are sung to the same music. So it is also called verse repeating form. So an example of this form are Old MacDonald Had a Farm and most church hymns. So in strophic form, the same music is repeated for each stanza or verse of lyrics, represented as AAA. So this form is prevalent in folk songs, hymns, and ballads, where each verse is set to the same melody. So now let's move on to the repeat marks. So the first we have the da capo. So it is an Italian word that means form. It is the Italian form that means from the beginning or from the head, usually abbreviated as DC in music notation. It is shows as return to the very beginning of the musical composition. So the da capo instruct musicians to return to the beginning of the piece and continue playing until reaching a designated end point.
Good day, I am Crystalline Del Rosario, and for the repeat marks, we also have the dal segno. Dal segno is abbreviated as DS. It is an Italian word meaning from the sign. It directs a musician to repeat a section of music from the sign, which looks something like this. Next is the da capo al fine. It is an instruction which means to repeat from the beginning to the end. The word al fine means to the end. It is abbreviated as DC, al fine in notation. Repeat marks. These are a signs which says that a section of music is to be played twice. Music is to be repeated is written in the measures within the two dots, shaped like columns. Next is the first and second endings. When the music has a different ending upon repeat, brackets with numbers on top of measures shows which to play during the first time and which to play during the second time, and so on.
Good day everyone, I'm Yasmin Alvarez and I'm the next presenter. Dynamics. Dynamics in music refer to the volume of sound, ranging from soft to loud. They are not just about volume, but also about expression. Teaching dynamics helps children understand the expressive nature of music and introduces them to Italian terms, as Italian is the standard language for music notation due to its historical origins. So, dynamics in music describe how loud or soft a sound should be played or sung, adding emotion and expression to the performance. They help bring the music to life, allowing performers to convey feelings like joy, sadness, excitement, or tenderness. So for example, piano means to play softly, creating a gentle or calm mood, while forte means to play loudly, adding strength and energy. Dynamic changes like crescendo gradually getting louder and decrescendo gradually getting softer guide musicians in shaping their performance. For instance, in a lullaby, soft dynamics like piano can evoke calmness, while in an energetic march, loud forte passages can create excitement. So these dynamic terms are in Italian because Italians formalized the rules of music notation around 1000 AD, and their language became the standard. So teaching dynamics to students showed them that music is not just about playing notes but also expressing emotions, making performances more meaningful and captivating for listeners. Next is listening, analyzing, and describing music. Listening is the purest way to enjoy and appreciate music. It allows students to actively experience music, making lesson engaging and helping them retain information. Providing listening opportunities is essential for music education. So, listening to music is the most powerful way to experience and understand it. When we listen to music, we can hear its different elements like melody, rhythm, harmony, and dynamics, which help us to feel its emotional impact. Simply reading about music or looking at sheet music doesn't give us the same experience. Music is something to be heard, not just learned through facts or symbols. For students, listening to music is especially important in education. It helps them connect with music more deeply. So, for example, if a teacher plays a piece of music, the students can hear how the instruments interact, the improvisation, and the unique rhythm of music. This allows them to grasp the concept being taught much better than if they were just told about them. Hearing the music makes it real for them and they can remember it in a more meaningful way. So, listening helps students develop critical skills like attention, memory, and understanding. It's also an active process that requires focus, which makes it more engaging and helps with deeper learning. So, by listening to different genre and styles of music, students can also gain a broader appreciation of the diversity in music.
These are the some examples on how listening is employed in music education. So first is the melody. Melody, students learn pitches and intervals by hearing them played on a musical instrument or an electronic device, enabling them to imitate and reproduce the sounds through singing. So the students can better understand the relationship between written musical notation and the actual sounds by hearing melodies played on an instrument or electronic device simultaneously. So this allows them to connect visual representation with auditory experience, so improving their ability to reproduce the melody through singing. Rhythm and tempo. Teaching tempo requires students to hear examples of pieces written in that tempo, and conducting gestures can be effectively applied by using a recording of a song. So teaching tempo using only words like allegro, adagio, and vivace is ineffective without auditory examples. So students need to hear musical pieces written in those tempos to fully grasp their meaning. Similarly, conducting the gestures are best learned and practiced with a recording of music, allowing students to physically connect their movements to the rhythm and tempo. So, for example, if a teacher can play a piece in allegro tempo and demonstrate the corresponding conducting gestures, so the students can follow along, improving their understanding of the both tempo and the conducting technique.
Hello everyone! My name is Mariel Ramirez, but you can call me Teacher Yel. So now, we will continue the discussion about some examples on how listening is employed. Are you excited? That's great. So next, we have form. Now, what is form? Let us identify what is form. So when we say form in music, define how we organize, create, and build anything from a classical composition to a bubbly pop song. Below, we'll explore different types of musical forms so that you can classify anything you hear on the radio and beyond. So understanding musical form helps us recognize common structures in compositions, broken down by melody and rhythmic pattern. So now, we will tackle about the three sectional forms. So the first one, we have the stropic form. So when we say stropic form, it is arguably the most simple form of music since it only consists of one section. You might see stropic form written as AA since the same melodic ideas are repeated without too much contrast or variation to the material. So next we have the binary form or simple form. So the binary form has two distinct sections or AB. The AB or binary form is built on contrasting material that shares similar themes. For example, lots of Baroque music and minutes are made in binary form having a strong two-act structure. Last one is ternary form. So when we say ternary form, it has 3 acts with 2A sections and 1B sections creating a pattern of ABA. So you can hear this pattern in some pop music alongside folk songs and classical music. So the next example is timbre. So when we say timbre, it is the quality of a sound produced by a musical instrument or voice, and is also known as tone color or tone quality. It's a combination of sound waves, harmonics, and overtones that create a unique sound. Timbre is what makes it possible to distinguish between different instruments like flute and an oboe or voices like choir voices. So next example is harmony. So what is harmony? So in music, when we say harmony, it refers to 2 or more complementary notes played or sung at the same time. For example, a choir may sing in harmony, which one section singing the melody while other sections sing the accompanying harmony.